Let's bring in Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Jim, there's no one I'd rather talk to right now than you. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Yeah. Is Hunter Biden a national security risk?
Well, I think we're going to find there's certainly questions about that, and I think Mr. Comer's investigation is going to look at that. He wants to get these suspicious activity reports. As he just mentioned, he'd like to get the logs of who had access to the Biden family residence there. So I think those are all important questions that the American people are entitled to know. What really jumps out at me, though, Judge, is this timeline and the lack of transparency from the White House, and you talked about this. So on November 2nd, they find classified material at the Biden Center. They don't tell anyone. On December 18th, they find classified material at the Biden garage, at their residence, and they don't tell anyone. And then on January 9th, there's a news report talking about classified material, but only at the Biden Center. The White House comes out and confirms that, but they still don't tell us about the garage, what they found on December 18th. Why didn't they just come clean right from the get-go and tell us, oh, and now we've found there's an additional 5 documents in the room adjacent to the garage at the Wilmington, at the residence. So I want to know why they kept this from us. And maybe the most important question that we've asked now for over a week is, why did they keep it from the American people when they knew about it before the election?
All right. They knew about it before the midterms, Congressman Jordan. You know they hid the Hunter Biden laptop story because it was a presidential election coming up. No surprise. They'd hide it so that it wasn't in play during the midterms. Yep. But why did they wait so long? What were they doing, Congressman, from November 2nd until January 10th? What were they doing? Who was reviewing the documents? Were there personal lawyers who don't have a security clearance? And, you know, I'm not satisfied that they don't have records of visitor logs at the home. Yeah. The Secret Service should know who was there. And if they don't keep logs, what about the security cameras? What about fingerprints on the documents? What are we going to find out, Congressman?
Yeah. No, all those questions need to be answered. What did Mr. Lausch do? We understand Mr. Lausch, the U.S. attorney from Illinois, was assigned to the case in early November, and then he concluded his investigation on January 5th. Well, what did he find? Right. Because we know after January 5th, they found another batch of these classified documents. So what kind of investigation was that for the first 2 months? What is the White House lawyer doing accompanying DOJ officials when they go to the Biden residence to pick up these documents? It looks to me like he just made himself a fact witness and is part of this investigation now. Why was he there? This was supposedly Biden's personal attorneys and the Department of Justice. What's the White House counsel's office doing accompanying the DOJ to his residence? That certainly didn't apply to President Trump.
It certainly didn't.
Maybe the best one is Secretary Clinton. I remember asking her specifically when she testified in front of the Benghazi committee, Secretary Clinton, you've got 60-some thousand emails. We don't want to see your personal emails. There's a thing called privacy in America. We have no right to see those. But we don't exactly trust you and your lawyers to determine which ones we should see and which ones we don't need to. How about this idea? Why don't we have a retired federal judge, a neutral third party, come and examine those 60-some thousand emails? And of course, her answer was no, no, no. And she got to decide. Her and her lawyers. That same thing wasn't extended to President Trump.
Not only did she get to decide, Congressman, she destroyed 33,000 emails. Yep. I mean, that's called the destruction of evidence. Look, the American people understand there's a two-tiered system of justice when it comes to Democrats in this country. Whether it's Hillary Clinton or right now, whether it's Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden has been in so many messes at this point. I don't know what's taking the grand jury so long. But I'll tell you what's interesting. This whole issue involving Hunter Biden and the child support, that's a way to get some discovery on what Hunter Biden is doing, because he seems to have been paying, he says, $49,000 a month for his father's house in Wilmington. All right. To me, that looks like money laundering. The house isn't worth more than $6,000 or $8,000 a month. What say you?
That is why Chairman Comer wants to get access to the suspicious activity reports. And understand what these are. They're suspicious activity that the Treasury Department sees on bank accounts, and they have 150 of them, we've been told. That's why he wants to see that information and focus his investigation there and build out from that premise. So that's why he's looking for it. Hopefully he'll get access to those in the course of his investigation.
Well, you know what, Congressman Jordan, I trust that you guys will proceed with this with due diligence. There is so much going on, and yeah, I don't know if it's possible to get fingerprints off those files. I don't know who's touched those files. And by the way, I can't imagine a personal lawyer going in and moving files from the Penn Biden Center. There's a lot of layers to this.
Why were they looking in the first place? What prompted them to go look? I think that's a fundamental question we don't have the answer to either.
Yes, and who were the other people in that building who might have had access to that room? Anyway, Congressman Jim Jordan, always good to see you again.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.